This is the tracked Toric UHD angled spotting scope, featuring a 27-55 power quick detach eyepiece and an 80mm objective lens made of German shot glass. This scope was designed in America and assembled in Japan, and is the top-of-the-line spotter from a company best known for making high-performance long-distance rifle scopes. We're going to see what you get in the box, take it out to the field for a practical test, and see if it lives up to the growing reputation of this brand on this episode of Moondog Reviews. We're going to get started by taking a look at what you get in the box, but rather than doing a typical unboxing where I'm fumbling through the contents, I'm just going to show you the contents of the box. There you go. This is the Tracked Optics UHD 27-55 by 80mm angled spotting scope. And let's take a closer look at this piece. It has a nicely armored body, and this is a rubberized coating on the body itself, which provides both impact resistance as well as a good textured surface. You can get a good hold whether you're in wet conditions or if you're wearing gloves in the cold. And it has a built-in sunshade, which is always much appreciated, and proper lens caps. That's nice. Which have also a retained lanyard, which is really handy. You want to have this on your lens caps, and as anybody who's lost lens caps can attest to, that it is really helpful to have retained lens caps so that it's not easily lost, and handy. Or if you are hunting or what have you and you want to keep silent, you just remove your lens caps. But the rear lens cap is a rubberized lens cap, so that provides a good seal against moisture as well as dust and dirt and what have you. And let's take a look at that. Look at that nice big ocular lens on that eyepiece there. And it has an indexing eye cup built in, so that's nice. And let's just check out the magnification. Good. Not butter smooth, but precise feeling, if that makes sense. You can feel that the gears are nice and tight in moving the glass elements in there, but it's not gritty at all. And it is a removable eyepiece. Tracked makes a number of different options, whether or not you want something with a little wider lens or what have you, and an easy bayonet style. So there's a locking ring here. Turn that and give this a twist, and it comes off. This is a 32, or by my measurements, 32 or an inch and a quarter sized diameter on that bayonet part, but I'm not sure what other aftermarket brands it's compatible with. If you happen to know who fits that style, please let me know. Leave me a comment here. And let's just check out this focus ring. And I like the fact that they do have a barrel focus ring, because the larger size gives you both speed as well as precision in terms of getting a really precise, sharp focus. And it is butter smooth. I'll shut up for a second so you can not hear anything as this thing turns. Yeah, like that. And it also comes with a rotating mounting ring, and it indexes as well. That is nice. I much appreciate that. So you can attach a tripod, or you can, or whatever sort of Arca Swiss or whatever mounting plate you want, you can direct attach to this mounting ring. And it provides you the option of just your standard below your angle, or turning it if you need to mount this low to a low tripod, either on a table or what have you. So there we go. So let's take it outdoors and give it a proper test next. Oh, it is a gusty day here today. We've got a storm that blew in, so pardon the camera shake as the wind gusts through here. But we are looking at the peak of Mount Davidson, approximately 1,400 yards away, through the tracked UHD at its lowest power of 27 magnification, and it is quite a bit of magnification, even at low power here. So much so that I can see really good detail. We saw that hiker on the middle trail there. But we can also see, one of my usual reference is a trail marker sign at the top of the hill, and that is about a 36-inch tall metal sign on top of about a 8-foot tall pole there. But beyond that, I can make out even just some little bit of detail on the actual sign itself, which is remarkable. That's how sharp this particular scope is. And there's quite a bit of moisture in the air as well, so this is even the most ideal conditions. Whew, okay. All right, and as we bring it up to its maximum magnification of 55, this is what we're getting. And I am not even having to adjust the focus. Let me just see if there's any better. No? Nope. That was spot on. So even from lowest to highest, once you get your focus in on its lowest at this distance, it is spot on. So that is some really good glass and really good optics that they've built into this scope. I'm just going to adjust the exposure. Maybe you can get a little bit more detail. All right, it is an overcast day here. But despite that, the glass image is so bright that I actually have to, let me manually turn down the exposure on the camera just so we don't get so blown out. Wow, that is bright. And very clear, as you can see here at 27 power. Our reference targets are downrange at 100 yards, and I can see a lot of detail. And let's see, if we move it up to its maximum of 55. All right, so we're not dealing with the noise of the wind gusts and the camera shake. I just took a still image here, and this allows us to take a more detailed look at each of the reference targets. All right, overall quite bright, detailed, and sharp. There is a bit of chromatic aberration. You can see a bit of purple fringe along the outside edges of the target board. Despite that, the overall color balance and detail is quite good, as you can see from the color chart on the top left. Not only is it vibrant and seems color true, but you can see from the gradation bars along the outer edges, there is quite a bit of detail. For a practical benchmark of sharpness and resolution, take a look at the paper target on the bottom left. We can clearly make out the bullet holes on the reactive sticker target, but below that sticker target are two additional holes on paper that we can clearly see. These are small 22 caliber holes, by the way, at 100 yards. And you can even make out details like the wrinkles on the edges of the paper. Now, for a quantitative benchmark of resolution, take a look at the U.S. Air Force optical resolution chart on the bottom right. I can make out both horizontal and vertical lines down to element 1 in group 1, which puts this scope among the sharpest, if not the sharpest, spotting scope I've tested. This 55 power scope is easily the match of any 60 power scope. All right, so the tracked Toric UHD. And before I get started talking about this particular scope, I'd like to ask a quick favor. Hit that like button right now, it just takes a second, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It doesn't cost anything, and it won't charge you when you hit subscribe. All you're doing is letting the algorithm know that this is the kind of content that you like to watch, and you'll start seeing more spotting scope and rifle scope reviews suggested to you in your feed, as opposed to the random crap that the AI usually suggests. And if you hit the bell icon, you'll be notified when I post my next spotting scope review video. All right, so the tracked Toric, and if you haven't heard of tracked, or at least not much of it, it's because it's a relatively new company. It was started when Nikon, or Nikon to us Americans, when Nikon got out of the rifle scope business. Two guys who worked at Nikon Sporting Optics, they decided to start their own company rather than work for a rival, and they started Tracked. And so all of Tracked's scopes are made in Japan using John and John's contacts there. They got all their scopes assembled, built, and designed in Japan, but here's the thing. Their scopes use German shot glass, and for those of you who don't know, all the higher end scopes from name brands you probably have heard of, little companies like Leupold or Zeiss or Schmidt & Better, they use German shot glass because shot glass has the best light throughput, so the best low light performance of any glass in the world, bar none. So this scope uses the same glass as those higher end brands, plus because it's a direct-to-consumer, Tracked as direct-to-consumer, they don't sell through a retailer, so there's not that retailer markup, so their scopes, Tracked scopes, sell for probably like half of what the higher end brands sell for the same performance, if not better. So there you go. I mean, it has all the features that you'd expect. You know, it's got a built-in sunshade, really nicely constructed, armored, and it even has a quick detach, quick change eyepiece system, which I believe is compatible with vortexes. Correct me if I'm wrong. Leave me a comment if I'm wrong about that. But it's a bayonet style eyepiece on here. Not reticle, but they do make 2 reticle models of eyepieces. So if you want to get an MOA or an MRAD reticle eyepiece, Track does offer that as an option. So you could add that on here for long distance rifle competitions. And like I said, if you want a different, a wider eyepiece, you could swap that out. This is a 27 to 55, but as you saw, even at 55, it is as sharp, if not sharper, than some 60 power scopes that I've reviewed. And the reason why they chose 27 to 55 as their magnification range on here is because it's just a 2 times magnification ratio. And the difference is actually in that it's lighter than a comparable scope, like the Nikon Monarch, which is a 20 to 60, even though it's a 60 power scope, weighs 2 pounds heavier than this one, and that's significant. I mean, if you've ever had to trek up a hill or a mountain, yeah, 2 pounds is no small amount of weight to lighten a spotting scope by. So yeah, so what else can I say? Lighter, performs as well, and for a reasonable price for what you're getting. If you're interested in picking up a Track Toric, I'll include product links as well as more information in my full written review at moondogindustries.com. Definitely check out that review and use those links to help support this channel. And I want to thank Track for sending this scope for me to test and evaluate. I'm really impressed. Thanks again for watching. Hit like and subscribe. Moondog, out. Hey, I'd like to know what you thought of this video. Leave me a comment or chat with me on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, MeWe, Instagram, or Locals. And if you want to see all of my videos, go to moondogindustries.com.